welcome to today's broadcast of Rocket Lab's third Electron launch. It's business time. We're coming to you live from Rocket Lab's brand new Mission Control Center in Auckland, New Zealand, and Launch Complex 1 on the Mahia Peninsula. My name is Danielle Devoy. I'm a Senior Mission Manager here at Rocket Lab, and I'll be taking you through today's Electron launch. Thanks for joining us. Earlier today, I checked in with our meteorological operator and found out that our weather looks great for today. We're watching the ground winds, but as for now, we are clean and green. We are in an exciting new era of small satellite technology, one that's making life on Earth better. Small satellites have a crucial role to play in improving understanding of our planet and our impact on it. They help us to connect with each other, enable us to protect people and resources, and they create opportunities to innovate and explore. We're excited to be launching small satellites like this on Electron today. Its business time features a variety of payloads, including several weather monitoring spacecraft, Australia's first commercial CubeSat, and a drag sail that could help reduce space junk. The manifest also includes a spacecraft built by a team of Southern California high school students. Today's flight will launch to an initial 210 by 500 kilometer, 85-degree inclination orbit, carried by Stage 1 and its 9 3D printed alloy Rutherford engines. This is followed by a final push to orbit by Stage 2 and its single vacuum optimized Rutherford. Once in this orbit, the Electron kick stage, where our customer payloads are attached, will be separated from Stage 2. From here, it coasts for around 40 minutes before the single Curie engine ignites and raises our perigee, or the lowest point in the orbit, from 210 kilometers to 500 kilometers. This is known as circularizing in orbit. Once in this orbit, our customer's spacecraft will be deployed over a period of a few minutes, starting with Irvine 01, then the 2 Spire Lemur 2 spacecraft, 2 Fleet Proxima satellites, and then the Tyvak spacecraft for geo-optics. Another 50 minutes after that, the HPS Nabeo drag sail will be extended, at which point all customer payload activities on the mission will be complete. Earlier this year, on our first orbital mission, still testing, we deployed a spacecraft for data and analytics company Spire. We're proud to have Spire on board again, this time with 2 Lemur 2 spacecraft. Spire's primary mission involves the collection of commercial weather data, as well as enabling ship tracking via their Automatic Identification System, or AIS. The team at Spire have shared a brief video with us for today's webcast.
Since Spire's first lemurs, we've gone through 16 batches and 16 iterations on the design. Now that includes kind of 3 generational changes of the payload, which has increased our performance 10x.
Because we own the facility and have been able to tailor the facility for our needs, it allows us to iterate much faster than if we were dependent on external vendors for these services. We can crank out a design, bring it to the test facility, see what works and doesn't, and go back to the lab, tweak the design, and immediately get back into the test facilities.
This is Spire's purpose-built clean room. We build and test all our own satellites in here. A normal batch size is 8 satellites, but we can build 10 at a time. This is Spire's own RF chamber. We use this to test and characterise the comms link and the payload sensitivities. Having this capability on site, along with thermal vacuum and vibration testing, cuts weeks out of the manufacturing cycle.
If someone brought us a new sensor tomorrow, depending on how large and complex it was, for something a bit bigger, it would be 4 to 6 months, but for something small and easy, as few as 1 or 2. Having all these capabilities in-house brings the time to make a satellite from months down to weeks. EMC testing in-house alone brings something that used to take us a week down to only an hour. What this capability means for customers is that we can improve our satellites more quickly, which means they get better data and more data faster.
Here in Auckland Mission Control, our launch team has just conducted the final go, no-go poll for launch. We are go for launch of its business time. We have approximately 14 minutes until T0. One of the final steps of our pre-launch preparations is the retraction of the strong back assembly. At this time, we have opened the top clamp and will be retracting the strong back by 22 degrees. Electron is fully supported by 4 hold-down points and fed by HVAC and electrical umbilicals. Please don't adjust your monitors. Our launch site really is that beautiful. Since we have a little more time before liftoff, we can share some more information about the other payloads on board its business time. The Cicero 10 spacecraft from GeoOptics, manifested by Tyvak, brings another commercial weather satellite onto Electron. Joining Cicero is the Irvine 01 spacecraft, built by a collection of high school students from 6 different schools in Irvine, California. This is the first in a series of CubeSats from the Irvine CubeSat STEM program, which gives students first-hand experience in spacecraft design, operation, construction, and exposure to payloads. The students in the program prepared a video to tell us more about Irvine 01's mission.
When I first found out that we were going to send something in space, I couldn't believe it. And here we are about to do something big that I've never seen before in any high school.
CubeSat is a type of miniature satellite that's used typically for space research.
What happens is it goes in with a larger project
And detached at a certain point, and it'll go on its own orbit.
Be able to go ahead and work towards a common goal of having a successful flight, I think is just really unique for our district, and our students are ready. You know, they're ready to go ahead and take on something like this.
This will put Irvine on the map globally. We will be a very important program moving forward for all eyes to watch.
We also had a last-minute addition to the It's Business Time manifest. Australian company Fleet Space Technologies have 2 Proxima satellites on board. These spacecraft will form the foundation of a global Internet of Things communications constellation to provide internet connectivity for millions of sensor devices in remote locations across the planet. Applications for Fleet's tech are almost endless and range from precision agriculture and virtual fences to maritime logistics and mining. What's particularly exciting about these spacecraft is the speed at which they were manifested. They joined Electron in record time, with payload licensing and full integration complete in just 2 months. Now the final payload on Its Business Time is the Nabeo drag sail from HPS of Munich, Germany. The Nabeo is designed to help passively deorbit satellites at their end of life by increasing the amount of drag the spacecraft experiences. This lowers the spacecraft's altitude and drags it back into the Earth's atmosphere, where it burns up on re-entry. Innovations like this will play a significant role in reducing space junk in low Earth orbit. For today's mission, Nabeo will be hosted on the kick stage, but will not separate from the vehicle. The count continues to proceed and currently remains go for launch.
Stand by, Elsie. LC FTS mission code.
Yes,
I can confirm that FTS is green and go for launch.
thank you. And to all operators, there should be no red
While
flag
the
on your
Electron,
launch
which you see
rotation.
on the launch pad, is launched in New Zealand, the majority of the vehicle, including the engines and avionics, are produced in Huntington Beach, California, in the United States. The 3D printed Rutherford engines start their life in sunny California, where they are assembled and then shipped to New Zealand for testing and integration into the vehicle. Final assembly and testing of vehicle components occurs here in Auckland. When completed, the Electron makes its way by road to the Mahia Peninsula and Launch Complex 1.
Your status.
Our launch site at LC-1 was designed by Rocket Lab and is the only privately operated, FAA-licensed commercial launch range. Next year, Rocket Lab will begin launching from its second Launch Complex 2, currently being constructed at the Mid-Atlantic Regional Spaceport at NASA Wallops on the east coast of the United States. Let's turn over to our control center audio and follow the remainder of the count.
Go.
Vehicle is ready.
Copy. Vehicle is ready. VMS, this is flight on mission chord.
Go flight.
Roger. We are go for auto sequence start at T-minus 2 minutes.
Copy. Locking auto sequence.
Three minutes and counting.
Avionics, LC on mission code, please confirm all ALV bats have been switched to internal power.
Vehicle is on internal power.
And RCO confirm ground power has been disabled on all 3 stages.
I can confirm ground power is dropped on all stages.
To all operators, vehicle is on internal power.
Pressing locks. Pressing Kero.
PLS, please disable anti-geysering and confirm.
Anti-geysering is disabled.
Stage 1, confirm that stage 1 is pressed.
Stage 1 pressed.
Stage 2, confirm stage 2 is pressed.
Stage 2 is pressed.
Fast barge active.
Deluge turning on.
Pumps on. Deluge running.
Setting GNC states. Rereadying engines. Flight mode.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
ignition.
3, 2, 1.
Vehicle.
In state 1.
IIP traffic downrange.
Dynamic pressure 50% of maximum.
T plus 1 minute, flight is nominal.
Coming up on maximum dynamic pressure. Max dynamic pressure.
Stage 1 propulsion still nominal.
Altitude 20 kilometers. Guidance is nominal.
Dynamic pressure has fallen to 50% of maximum.
Power pack CO2-1.
AOS at Chatham's station.
Minimize AOA. Entering mode burnout detect.
Time to go 8 seconds. 5 seconds. 2 seconds.
Stage
Shut
1
down.
MECO.
Separating.
Stage 2 engine started. Propulsion nominal.
Vehicle is stable.
Separating fairing.
Fairing separation.
Speed 2.5 kilometers per second.
I'll be continuing to follow a nominal track.
Flight remains nominal.
Stage 2 propulsion remains nominal.
Coming up on 3 kilometers per second.
Altitude is 200 kilometers. Hot swapping. Eject.
Stage 2 propulsion still nominal.
The Electron is unique in that its Rutherford engines are driven by high-performance, brushless DC electric motors and lithium polymer batteries. What you saw a few moments ago was the ejection of 2 of our 3 battery packs from the second stage. This is done to increase performance by reducing the amount of spent mass that's carried to orbit.
Flight failsafe is disabled.
Flight copies.
60 seconds.
Switching stage 2 to mode burnout detect. Twenty seconds remaining.
Engine shut down.
Transfer what looks nominal.
And that successfully completes the first half of our flight with a successful orbit injection. Electron's kick stage has separated from stage 2 and is now coasting as planned. The Electron kick stage makes up the final stage of the launch vehicle and provides Electron the capability to precisely inject customer payloads into their final designated orbit, as this graphic explains.
Range copies, IP lifted.
While stage 2 reaches an initial parking orbit, as shown here, the kick stage completes the mission. First, the kick stage is separated from Electron and then performs a 42-minute coast. At 51 minutes into the flight, the kick stage will be ignited and will circularize the orbit, at which point all of our customer payloads will be deployed. As good stewards of the space environment, our kick stage design is such that the Curie engine can perform a deorbit maneuver to enable it to re-enter the Earth's atmosphere faster and burn up, therefore reducing space debris. As the kick stage enters its coast phase, we're going to transition over to our tracking graphic, which will show the location of the kick stage as it coasts over the Earth. We are currently southeast of New Zealand, with the clock, and when the clock reaches T plus 45 minutes, we'll return with commentary coverage of payload deployment. If you've been staying up late to join us, now might be a good time for a power nap. If you're planning on staying awake, enjoy these sweet tunes from Tim Dodd, the Everyday Astronaut. stage and delivery of the payloads to their final mission orbit. Since reaching orbit, Electron has traveled over the South Pacific, across the expanse of Antarctica and the South Atlantic, and up to the western coastline of Africa and Western Europe. Currently, Rocket Lab is standing by to reacquire telemetry. Flight is still nominal.
AOS at Azores Station.
Our mission operators are closely monitoring vehicle telemetry, which was recently reacquired through our ground station in the Azores. Rocket Lab is ramping up our launch cadence with multiple missions manifested for 2019 and beyond. There are a variety of job postings on our webpage, rocketlabusa.com, for roles in New Zealand, California, and Virginia. I hope everyone that has dreams of spaceflight will check them out.
Pressing carry. Preheater off.
In all stations, we have confirmation of stage 3 ignition.
The kick stage ignition has been confirmed, and the vehicle is now performing a 1-minute burn.
And we've had stage 3 cutoff, engine cutoff.
Kick stage shutdown confirmed. We are about to begin the payload deployment sequence. The following is a simulated video of our deployment sequence in real time. The first payload to be deployed is Irvine 01, followed by the 2 Spire Lemur 2 spacecraft, the 2 Fleet spacecraft, and then the Tyvak Geooptics Cicero 10 spacecraft. They're celebrating in Irvine, California, the simulation of the Irvine 01 deployment. Now you'll see 2 payloads being deployed at once. These are the Spire Lemur 2 spacecraft, both being deployed out of Rocket Lab built Maxwell containers. Now we have deployment of the 2 Fleet Proxima spacecraft out of a Maxwell container built by Rocket Lab. And now for the Cicero 10 deployment. And that completes deployment for all payloads. The final activity for the mission is to extend the Nabeo drag sail. However, this will take place almost an hour from now. So at this point, we're concluding today's webcast. This successful commercial flight represents the first of many, with multiple missions ahead for Electron in 2019 and beyond. The timing of our next launch, the Alana 19 mission for NASA, will be announced officially on our social media streams in the coming weeks. Thank you so much for taking the time with us today and for joining us on this journey into commercial operations. This is Rocket Lab Mission Control in Auckland, signing off.